We're hooked up to our first movement already, a full 40-foot container that came from the big box in Waikiki last night. It's all dunnage going back to the mainland. Making our way down to the shipping terminal here in Sand Island, but they don't open till 7. It's 6:23, so guess we get to enjoy the sunrise. First we gotta make a big U-turn here. Join the queue to get into the shipping terminal when they can open up at 7. We checked in with setup. They gave us 3 container movements. All of them are live load, standby offload. All 3 are construction material. So now, never done this one, but they say it's tight and it takes them 3 hours sometime to offload. Sometimes you get lucky, they say. And then we got these 2, which are basically the staircases for the high-rises. I think what I'm going to do, because of the shipping terminal's modified schedule where they open up late and then they close for lunch between 11 and 1, we're going to pull out the second load and run it back to our terminal and just put it in the yard. And then we'll come back and get this first load and do it. That way, if it runs late, you know, past 11, I have that option. If it doesn't, I'll go ahead and come and get the other load from the shipping terminal and take it over, and then it's just insurance, I guess. So that's what we're going to do. Skip this for now. Pull out this. Looks like a flat record, right? Call bomb 10:30. This one said 8 to 12. So we got 8, 9, and 10, and all of them are standby offload construction, which means it could be 15 minutes offloading, it could be 3 hours. So we're just gonna do what we think is best so that the modified schedule doesn't mess us up too much. In the meantime, though, we get to enjoy the sunrise. Working on the first load. So it's 9 o'clock. Man, talk about logistics situations. We bobtailed back to the terminal after bringing the flat rack that's going to the job site for the staircases. There's 2 of those. And we picked up the load of, I think it's windows, going down to the job site at Iolani High School. these are construction sites, so it's kind of important that you let them know you're coming, because you never know what's going on. So I called the guy at Iolani, nobody answered, I called 4 times. And you want to do that to let them know if it's important, you call back. If it's important, you call back. And just talking to the other drivers, they said, yeah, that place is a bit of a mess. And so told dispatch can't get a hold of them. We got about halfway there with the load, and he finally calls back and says, oh, we're pouring cement right now. There's no way we're going to be able to take care of you until after 12 o'clock. So we made a U-turn, brought that container back to our yard, picked up this load of steel that's going to the other job site, and I was going to go back to the shipping terminal and pick up the second load, but dispatch says no, he's got somebody there. He'll bring it back to the yard for me. Again, this is just trying to deal with the fact that the shipping terminal is going to close from 11 to 1, and we want to keep working. You know, we want to work. We don't want to sit around for a 2-hour lunch break. So we're hooked up. Called the person, let them know we're on our way. Nobody answers. Call again, call again. Okay, dispatch, can't get a hold of this guy either. Let them know we're on our way, because these guys are pouring concrete almost every week also. I've been to this job site. We delivered windows a while back, and there's 2 ways to approach the job site, but if we don't get it right, it's pretty easy to turn around and get it resituated. But we're just going to pull up curbside and see how it goes. Usually with these staircases, they can take them off in bundles, so it should be less than an hour to offload, unless they're doing it by crane. Doing it by crane, it's probably going to take around an hour. They're flying it into the building. We'll see when we get there. Making our way through downtown. This is where they've closed down a lane in each direction for the railroad. People thought this was going to be a major problem, but what they did is, normally the lane that's in the far right, that lane used to be a turn right only lane for Aloha Towers. But you'll see ahead here, what they did is they realigned that lane, and now it's actually a 3rd lane, and the exit to Aloha Towers is a real short exit. Just a designated lane. But yeah, they're putting down the dirt, because then they're going to be bringing in the pile drivers, or the foundation work has got to go in. They dig these big holes, and then they line it with steel and pour the concrete. It's going to be like this for, I think they said 5 years, or maybe it was 2 years. But yeah, as you can see, just ahead here, they've realigned the roads, and so provided they don't block these roads, traffic's not bad at all. But I have a feeling as time goes by, they'll be blocking these lanes, and it might cause some problems. But until that happens, they repaved the road just before they did all this, so the road's in good shape. I think it's all right. I wouldn't panic. Not yet. It is construction, so you never know what's going to happen when they start bringing in the heavy equipment. And in the news yesterday, they announced that they're thinking of adding another 3 miles to the railroad from Ala Moana to the University of Hawaii, which to me makes sense. But what makes even more sense to me is that they should have started out with this railroad going from the university to downtown here by way of Waikiki and the Ala Moana Shopping Center. That should have been the very beginning phase, because then people would have been using it from day one. But now they went 20 miles out into the countryside, built 10 miles, which to this day hardly anybody uses. I don't know, maybe they needed the practice, you know. First time building a raised elevated railroad in Hawaii. We've had railroads in Hawaii since the beginning of transportation. I mean, before the automobile, we had several railroads in Hawaii. None of them exist today, but historically, Hawaii's had railroads. Well, there is one that exists today out in Ava. Runs on the weekends. It's just a tourist attraction. Anyway, we're going to cut through downtown here. It's after 9, so everybody should be in their office and off the streets until lunchtime. This next light will make a right onto King Street, and that'll take us down to where this job site's at. So this is actually 4th movement of the day. Yeah, they got us backed into the construction site. They're trying to get it off at the grade all. Meanwhile, the tower crane is dropping one of the decks right next to us. It's keep your head on a swivel type of place. A lot going on, a lot of guys working. Anyway, we got everything untied. We just got to get the last 2 pieces off. Then we'll find out from dispatch what they want to do. It's 9:49, so we can take this back to the shipping terminal if dispatch wants to get rid of it. See, we'll see in a minute here. So we made our delivery, and we're going to take the empty back to our yard where the second load is waiting for me. We'll make a swap. We're making our way through the downtown area here by the Aloha Tower, where they've closed the 2 lanes. And here's what I was talking about earlier. When they close one of the lanes that's been redesigned, like they are here on the right, it causes traffic to back up. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case, but it seems to be moving really well. You can see the cars are moving, so it's not that bad. I wouldn't want to do it at rush hour though. Also makes it kind of hard to make that right turn. Lane here, I wanted to try this out in the trailer, see where the tires go. It's not little tight, little squishy. Any other lanes closed? Doesn't look like it. So yeah, so far so good. Like I said, once they start bringing in the cranes though, all bets are off. They take up a lot of space. Yeah, making our way back to our yard. This is the, let's see, Manoa River. Comes out of Manoa Valley, flows into the Alawai. On the other side there's the Alawai Golf Course. One of the busiest golf courses in the world. Looks kind of brown at the moment. There's a job site we're going to. This is one of the really nice private schools on the island called Iolani, and they're reconstructing the cafeteria. So it's going from the cafeteria to a mega cafeteria. And it's a little tight getting in with all the cars. At the moment, they just finished pumping concrete, so the pump truck's inside there. I'm waiting for him to come out before I'll back in. They say it's a little bit of a challenge. We finally, it took us 2 hours, but we finally got that. Planter boxes. They were aluminum, big, huge aluminum planter boxes delivered to the job site. Offloaded. Then we took the empty back to the shipping terminal, Sand Island. And now we're back over at the place where the fire was to pick up the container that we dropped off the other day. And as is always the norm over here, it's blocked. So we gotta move a few cars. Take this into the shipping terminal or not. We'll see how long it takes to get it out of here. They close at 3:45 and it's 3:05 right now, and we're 20 minutes away. Okay, they want to move a few cars out of the way. They don't want me to get too close to them. That's it. We've shut it down. We came in at 6. We'll be out of here by 3:45. We did 10 movements. We only drove 57 miles. A lot of live load, standby offload. I enjoyed it very much. It was a good Friday. But now we're gonna head on home. We never did get around to making the was it sukiyaki? No. Chow mein noodles. Sorry. So we're going to do that tonight. We got home late. We ended up going to Costco, and then we went out to dinner. And so we'll make dinner tonight. But that is it for this week. Thanks for watching. Aloha.